Senator Jibola, raising your hand. Point of order.
Order 43. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, my order is Order 43, personal explanation. The order reads, by indulgence of the Senate and the leave of the President of the Senate, a senator may make a personal explanation, although there be no question before the Senate, but no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon the explanation. The terms of the proposed statement shall be submitted in detail to the President of the Senate when this leave to make it is sought. I have submitted the detail of statement to Mr. President, and I seek the indulgence of the Senate and the leave of Mr. President for the personal explanation.
Just let me finish. Well, the distinguished senator, the chairman of our committee on diaspora, met me and briefed me this morning, but it's still the prerogative of the Senate to allow him to present his explanation. So those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. President and distinguished senators. My personal explanation concern the recent xenophobic attacks on Nigeria and some other African citizens in South Africa. This occurred during the period that the Senate was in recess. Even though the committees have not been inaugurated, but the chairman and vice chairman of the Committee on Diaspora, non-governmental organization and civil society organization sought the leave of Mr. President of the Senate to do some intervention on behalf of the Senate. And in that regard, this personal explanation has to do with what has been done in that regard. We had cause to invite the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Oyama, on the 6th of September 2019 to the Senate to brief as to what happened in South Africa and what efforts is the federal government taking in order to address the issue permanently, because it has become a perennial issue. At the meeting, the Honorable Minister briefed the chairman and vice chairman of our committee as to what transpired in the recent xenophobic attack. Even though we have the cheering news that no Nigerian life was lost, but tremendous damage was done to properties of Nigeria, and some other African citizens lost their life in that attack. In terms of the objective of the federal government in tackling the recent attack, we are informed that the objective is to seek for compensation for Nigerians whose properties were damaged in the attack, and also to get the South African government to use the instrumentality of its law to deter those that perpetrate this offense, so that there will be a deterrent in case of future occurrence. Effort was also mentioned of the fact that the Nigerian government has sent a special envoy to South Africa in the person of the Director General of National Intelligence Agency to convey the displeasure of the Nigerian government about the perennial attack on Nigerians in South Africa, and that the Nigerian president will be briefed and then subsequent action will be taken after that. We also had meeting with the chairman, chief executive of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, who also briefed us in similar light, and of the fact that about 640 Nigerians had signified intention to return voluntarily to Nigeria. Upon the return of the special envoy to South Africa, the president was briefed, and upon briefing of the president agreed that Nigerians who voluntarily signify intention of returning back should be allowed to come back. Some of them who have challenges about travel documentation were to be assisted and were indeed assisted by the Nigerian High Commission in South Africa. issue was raised about diplomatic relations with South Africa, and the position of the Nigerian government was that even though all options were on the table, the question of closure of the Nigerian Commission would do disservice to other Nigerians in South Africa, as they would not be able to have where to interface in case they have any challenges. Subsequent to that, a Nigerian private airline volunteered to assist with the evacuation of Nigeria, and I'm glad to say that 2 sets of Nigerians have been repatriated back to Nigeria on a voluntary basis by the Airpeace, which is a private airline, with support of the government and some other state governments and some other agencies. Of course, because of the seriousness of the matter, the Nigerian government decided to boycott the World Economic Forum, which was holding in South Africa, as a show of displeasure as to the lackadaisical attitude of South African government to addressing the xenophobic attacks. And subsequent to that, the South African president sent an envoy to Nigeria, Jeff Radebe, to come and convey apology on behalf of the South African government, with concrete promises that effort will be taken to address the perennial case of xenophobic attack. On the strength of the representation by the envoy of South African president, the Nigerian government, we are aware, is going to have a meeting in South Africa from 2nd of October with a view to consummating a Nigerian-South African binational commission to address issue of relationship between the two countries, cement diplomatic ties, and concretely address to finality the issue of the xenophobic attacks. I must place on record the commendation of the chairman and vice chairman of the committee of the effort of the proprietor of the Airpeace for the support, and also the activities of the Nigerian Foreign Affairs Ministry, the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, as well as the High Commission of South Africa in assisting in giving support to Nigerians who had challenges with the xenophobic attack.